Obama returns to political fray for a Democratic Party cause. Former President Barack Obama will formally re-enter the political fray this week, less than 6 months after leaving office, headlining a fundraiser for a group that could prove critical to the Democratic Party's rebuilding efforts. Obama's appearance Thursday before a few dozen people at a closed-door event in the district on behalf of the National Democratic Redistricting Committee, NDRC, highlights the balance he is trying to strike as his party seeks to regain its footing at both the state and national levels. Obama does not want to cast a long shadow, in the words of Democratic National Committee Chairman Tom Perez, but he remains a central figure for a party that has yet to settle on a single strategy to combat President Trump. Perez said in an interview Sunday that while some Democrats have urged Obama recently, "You've got to get out front on issue X or issue Y," the former president wants instead to build a bench for the party. Democrats suffered a greater loss of power during Obama's tenure than under any other two-term president since World War II. Because tomorrow's president is today's state senator. And he knows that very personally, said Perez, referring to Obama's experience as a state senator in Illinois. When you lose 900 state legislative seats, those are people who could have been the next governors and senators and cabinet positions, and that is something that he's very committed to. The NDRC's executive director, Kelly Ward, would not say how much the fundraiser is expected to bring in. But she said Obama still has such a microphone to help convince donors to invest in state-level races and help in shining a light on a phenomenon that influences the outcome of elections year after year. That bully pulpit still very much rests with him, Ward said. The NDRC aims to influence how state and federal legislative districts are drawn and hopes to create a centralized, strategic hub for a comprehensive redistricting strategy, she said. The group's chairman, former U.S. Attorney General Eric H. Holder Jr., and House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, Democrat California, also are scheduled to appear. Corey Bliss, the Congressional Leadership Fund executive director whose super PAC is affiliated with House Speaker Paul D. Ryan, Republican Wisconsin, said in an interview that Democrats' efforts to regain ground will be hampered by the fact that people in the middle think they are out of touch with the problems of ordinary Americans. It's a brand that is beholden to Nancy Pelosi and liberal, left coast elitism, Bliss said. The Democrats couldn't find real America with Nancy Pelosi's chauffeur and a map. Bliss added that the GOP already has multiple groups working on redistricting, and I am confident they will be well-funded and well-run. In his final news conference as president in January, Obama said that he would wade into the national political debate only at certain moments where I think our core values may be at stake, including voter suppression. Since then, he has issued statements on some of the Republicans' highest-profile assaults on his legacy, including Trump's executive actions to curb immigration and exit the Paris Climate Agreement, and congressional Republicans' efforts to unravel the Affordable Care Act through legislation crafted behind the scenes and without Democrats' input. The fundraiser is a more targeted political act, focused on the upcoming legislative apportionment that will establish the electoral playing field for the next decade. The process of drawing districts differs by state. Some have independent commissions, while most are drawn by state legislators and subject to approval by governors. But even with those variations, the 2017 and 2018 cycle will feature 38 gubernatorial races and 322 state senate races with 4-year terms. Perez described it as a 12 or 13-year cycle, because whoever wins is going to control redistricting in a very real way. In a statement, Obama's spokesman Kevin Lewis said the former president wants to support the committee's efforts to address unfair gerrymandering practices that leave too many American voters feeling voiceless in the electoral process. Restoring fairness to our democracy by advocating for fairer, more inclusive district maps around the country is a priority for President Obama, Lewis said.